Breathing is being alive. It is the realization of a living consciousness, the realization that you are alive. It is also about living in the present moment. This is what a lot of us are struggling with, that we constantly focus on the past or worry about the future. So breathing is the consciousness of moving forward and living on. What this means is whenever you struggle to stay in the present moment, whenever you wander into the past or worry about the future, you can always shift your focus back to your breathing. Breathing is what stabilizes our minds and spirits. It helps us focus on the now, to face any task we are tackling at this time and facing anything presented in front of us. This applies to any situations or scenario. It is the mindset of courage, and it is to be aware of yourself deeply. We often focus our breathing when we meditate because it is to focus on our core self, to understand ourselves, to feel and be at the present moment. But it doesn't end here. Breathing is our superpower, and it is a gateway towards miraculous achievements. In Qigong, I was taught to breathe down all the way to the lower dantian, which is between the root and sacral chakra. This is best for grounding and centering yourself. To focus our intention and attention on a certain area through breathing. To focus the qi downwards. While most of the time when we do channeling or any sort of psychic work, we focus on the third eye and the crown chakra, where the qi goes upwards because we shift our consciousness upward to tap into higher realms and receive higher knowledge. This makes us more highly active and makes our consciousness shift out of the body while we are doing psychic work because we're focusing what's beyond. Whereas when we are doing grounding and centering, we focus downwards to center ourselves, to focus what's here in the physical realm. Whereas the spiritual work, the psychic work, is what's beyond or what's outside the physical, right? Think of it like this. Breathing is the element of air. And air is what allows the ocean, the lakes, and the rivers to flow so it does not stagnate in a single area. The element of air is so needed because it helps the overall flow of the environment. In our physical body, it helps our blood flow, it helps our qi flow, and it helps our cosmic energies to flow. By allowing them to flow, our entire physical and spiritual bodies become whole, where nothing is left out. This is the same with breathwork from Wim Hof. Whenever I breathe, I will breathe into the lower chakra, allowing fresh air and energy to reach every level of my body. Then I will expand the stomach while I breathe in and shrink the stomach to release all toxins and old stuff, anything that needs to be released, to renovate for the new. Simultaneously, I would also visualize this to embody the spiritual aspect, the astral body. So because the spiritual, the higher realms, the higher dimension works differently from this dimension. The higher dimension is more quicker. Manifestation is quicker through visualization. It's quicker. That's why we focus more on the visualization, and that's how things manifest there, right? Whereas the physical takes more effort and takes more physical grounding work. So by doing this, you're doing both sides. You're helping your physical body, but you're also helping your astral spiritual bodies. So personally, the best duration to breathe is 11 seconds. 11 is my magical number, and it's everyone's magical number, I believe. So this process includes breathing in and out, and this is a total of 11 seconds to breathe in and breathe out. Perhaps 7 seconds, 6 to 7 seconds to breathe in, and 4 to 5 seconds to breathe out. Of course, it doesn't apply when you're exercising, as you need to breathe faster. So depending on what you do, sometimes you need to breathe quicker, and that's okay. But I'm just talking about the average speed, or when you're meditating, or when you're doing Qigong, any type of spiritual work, when you're trying to stabilize yourself, when you're trying to ground yourself and calm yourself. You want to breathe like that. So I mentioned flow being one of the essence of breathing, and that flow applies to everything. In Shaolin Kung Fu, where I have been training for 3 months, I learned that having the flow without any blockages from the lower body to the upper body is where you can generate more power with ease. There is a scene from Avatar: The Last Airbender where the guru teaches Aang about the chakras, where if there is anything that blocks the flow, the power doesn't go through and he cannot access to the avatar state. It's very similar to that, very, very exactly the same thing. So I learned that breathing through the nose and out from the nose is a lot better than through the mouth. But since flow is so important in Kung Fu to generate more speed and power, I thought about my breath more and I focused more on the way I breathe while training and outside of training. Flow is the element of air. So through breathing, I set the intention to breathe where air moves smoother and more effectively. And I visualize the harmony with both my physical and metaphysical body. This is where I discover I can generate more power and speed in my Shaolin forms. Not to mention stability too, since breathing lower is to ground yourself. In this way, I saw myself improve tremendously despite not having any martial arts experience and despite being smaller than average people. Always think and always strategize, always find your own method, find what works best for you and test it out. Test, experiment. It's kind of like the scientific method, but in your own way. Whenever I think about flow though, I always think about water. I thought it was water. No, flow, water comes to mind. However, air is also about flow because air is free. Air is freedom. And water cannot flow without air, naturally, because you need gravity, right? And fire cannot be created without air too. Fire is a force because it has a powerful, strong intention. For example, the Shaolin forms I'm practicing are the element of fire because it's all about speed and power. And breathing really helps draw and unleash more power. Taichi is water because the movements are slow and it is about harmonizing with the breath, but it follows my breath, so the air is leading. Very interesting, right? If you compare this to real life, to more of a bigger picture, bigger perspective. Because everything's connected, it applies. It's just on a smaller scale. The body, the earth. How the earth works is the same with how the body works. Speaking of breathwork, Wim Hof is able to stay in extreme temperature through it. This is a superpower we all have, but we only need to realize and develop it. Through proper breathing, we can harmonize the energies in our body to unleash in full potential in any form of martial arts. It is also the gateway to do hardening Qi and breaking or iron crouch. Some insane Qigong ability where we focus all attention and all energies in one single point to achieve this technique. And there are also some other superpowers like telekinesis or pyrokinesis, which I believe are also connected to breathing and very focused on breathing. It starts from the breathing. Breathing is the beginning of everything. Because air is one of the oldest elements and the beginning elements on Earth, or in this realm. Now let's talk about the downsides. What happens when we are not breathing properly? This is something to be aware of, especially if you are a highly sensitive person or you're dealing with traumas, PTSDs, and depression. Because breathing fully is truly about embracing the moment. It is not about escaping or running away from the present, no matter how hard or painful it is. But sometimes our body or ourselves can withdraw from a great amount of pain and suffering. It's how some of us work and how humans work. We just don't like pain and suffering. Nobody loves that. but it's what we have to go through as long as we are here. Our consciousness hides under a shell, seeking comfort in their own comfort zone. And one of the main things I notice is that our breathing decreases significantly. We are no longer breathing at a normal, stable pace, but we are barely breathing at all. Have you noticed that? Have you? Be aware, sometimes this happens. This makes us feel more numb. So we feel numb, we feel very calm, we feel very peaceful, but we feel very numb. Like there's no feeling, literally. Breathing is one of the main ways to connect with ourselves, with our bodies, deeply. Mental, emotional, deeply. To understand and feel ourselves in a deeper level. This is how we know our physical, mental, and emotional bodies' needs. But when we are numbed and desensitized, it's almost like withdrawing and running away from all the pain and running away from ourselves. Not dealing with, the baggage that we hold, the problems that we hold, even though we cannot run away. We need to learn to surrender to the pain and go through it to heal fully. It's like getting sick. You don't rely on medicines to suppress the pain, but you go through it to heal naturally. That's why those who take medicines take a longer time to heal, whereas those who go through it with faith and courage heal quicker. So, focus more on the breathing. Breathe and feel yourself. Breathe and understand yourself. That's how you can progress. That's how you can heal. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and share this video with your friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also offer Akashic Record reading sessions or Starseed readings. And I also do teachings for Akashic Record if you want to learn how to access your own Akashic Records. I do that as well. And once again, much love and peace.